Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of you that want to do a headband or an infinity scarf, I think this stitch is quite beautiful. Especially it's gonna be warm if you use a thick yarn. I'm gonna use 5.0mm crochet hook, so the yarn is somewhat thick. Okay, for this stitch we're gonna chain odd number. I have here 21 single crochet foundation chain. So if you want to do just chains, make sure that you have odd number. And when you attach the, let's say, the chain into a circle, you're gonna work in exactly that stitch where you join the into a circle. Yeah, so I have 21 chains, well, foundation single crochet chains. If you're not familiar with this stitch, you can learn. Somewhere there is on the internet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this into a circle, make sure that it's not twisted, and we're gonna go not into the first stitch. Yeah, we're not gonna go into the first stitch, we're gonna go at the tail right there, and you're gonna insert the hook there, and then we're gonna do a slip stitch through the second loop. So we have two loops, do a single crochet, okay, and now we're gonna move to the first stitch of this foundation, and you're gonna do a slip stitch also. Yeah, it's gonna be like this. Okay, now into the same stitch where we just join the first stitch. So if you work only with chains, doing that very chain that you close this into a circle. Yeah, so we're gonna go back into that first stitch, pull up a loop, pass the yarn to the first loop, go back again into the stitch, pull up a loop. Again, we're going to pass the yarn to the first loop, yeah, yarn over the hook, and we're going to go back into the stitch, the same stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, yarn over the hook, go back again, pull up a loop. Yeah, so you're going to have 2, 4, 6, 7 loops. Then yarn over and pull the yarn through all these 7 loops, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and into the next stitch we're gonna repeat the stitch, pull up a loop, pass the yarn through the first loop, go back again into the stitch, pull up a loop. Again, we're gonna pass the yarn through the first loop, yarn over the hook, and now we're gonna do, let's say, a puff. So we're gonna go into the same stitch once, yarn over the hook, go back again for the second time, pull up a loop, 7 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 7 loops, and then chain 1. And we're gonna repeat like this until we finish this row. Skip the next stitch, and into the next we're gonna repeat. Go back again, yarn over the hook, and now we're gonna do a puff. Okay, now we're gonna pull the yarn through all these 7 loops, chain 1, and we're gonna repeat. Skip the next stitch, and into the next we're gonna do the same. So do a puff. Because the yarn is so thick, for the puff I go only twice. If your yarn is thinner and you want the puff a little bit, let's say, bigger, then go 3 times. Depends on your yarn size. But for a headband, depends if you live in a cold climate. I think it's nice to have a thicker yarn. So you're gonna skip the next stitch and into the next, and we're gonna repeat. It goes really fast, this stitch, and it's quite nice when you put it on you. Yarn over the hook, go back again into the stitch and do a puff, pull the yarn through all the 7 loops, chain 1. I think this is nice for an infinity scarf. We can do this even for a bag. I think it's nice. You can do so many things with this stitch. And of course you can work this stitch into like flat, not necessarily in circle. This is one of my own crochet patterns. This stitch, many years ago I came up with this stitch, but I never worked this in round, so this time I said to myself, well, maybe a headband will look nice, but the stitch flat doesn't look like this. It looks totally different. The only thing that, let's say you want the original stitch, the way I came up with that, with this stitch, all you have to do, I'm gonna show you if I will remember at the end, to do in circle, let's say. You just don't go in circle, you kind of twist the material. So you skip the next stitch and into the next, you do the same. And it's one row repeat. This is it. This is the stitch that you're gonna do on and on and on until you finish your row. Okay, so we have 2 stitches left. Yeah, we're gonna skip the next and into the next, which is the last one. You're gonna do a slip stitch. Okay, we're gonna do a slip stitch, and now we have the first cluster here. Yeah, so the stitch is on top right here, so we're gonna go in there and we're gonna repeat the stitch. Pull the yarn through the loop, go back again, pull up a loop, then pull the yarn to the first loop, yarn over the hook, and do a puff. So once and twice. 7 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 7 loops, chain 1. And then the next, it's right here, the stitch. Right here. So for example, if you want to do the stitch, the original stitch, all you have to do when you reach the end, you're gonna have to turn the work like this and then work like that. Yeah. But for this, we're gonna go into this space right here. So you're gonna repeat the stitch. And you're gonna do a puff. So you have enough space in there to put all this. So you're gonna go into that space right here. Yarn over the hook and do a puff. For those of you, if you work with, let's say, so many loops on your hook and it's hard to pull the crochet hook through the loops, use a half of number bigger the crochet hook that the yarn recommends, and maybe then it's going to be easy to, you know, pull the hook through the loops. And you do like this until you finish your project, and at the end you will want to finish the top with a single crochet in each stitch and each chain. Yeah, so you're gonna do a single crochet in this chain also when you are to close your work, for example, before you close the work. And you're gonna do like this on and on and on until you finish your project. So for those of you that are beginners, don't hide this tail. Yeah, you will hide it after you finish, because you will know each time when you reach the end of a row and you start a new row. Because if you're gonna close that, you will be like, where is the finish, where is the beginning? And that will make easy. Or if you want to hide, you can hide, but put a marker. Put a marker and you will know exactly where the row finishes and where the next row starts. And that's gonna be easy. Yeah, but this stitch is quite easy, looks very pretty in my opinion. Some of you might disagree, but I like this stitch for a headband. And I'm gonna show you at the end the sample, the headband. Okay, chain 1 and so on. So you are at the end here, so you have 2 stitches. So you're gonna skip that, the next stitch, and into the next you're gonna do a slip stitch. Yeah, and then you're gonna move to the first stitch. So the stitch is right here. Yeah? So you're gonna start doing the stitch. Yeah? And then you're gonna move to the space, next space, and so on. So let's say you want to finish. So what you're gonna do, instead of doing the slip stitch here, you finish the headband or whatever you do, and instead of the slip stitch, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna do in each stitch. So you're not gonna skip this one. You're gonna go to that one and you're gonna do a single crochet, move to the next stitch, single crochet, and then the next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet, and you have the stitches very easy. You can see them, and you finished your headband. You can do a hat if you want with this. Everything that can go in rounds, for example. Yeah, it's very easy, goes really fast. So you will continue until you finish. So this is how it's going to look. I'm gonna show you the, let's move that. So this is the stitch. So front and back. This is the back of the work, and this is the front. See? It's quite nice. It's very thick. Yeah, it's very thick, and it's 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. So if you want for a winter headband, I think this is quite warm. Yeah? It's quite nice. Well, I hope you like the stitch and you give it a try. Just make sure that you have a odd number and you're good to go. Headband, infinity scarves, a hat, so many options. Thank you for watching.